Buddha blessings, namaste, God is good, I must say. This is a continuance of talks regarding give Caesar of what is of Caesar. So, on behalf of thou shalt not bear false witness. So give Caesar what is of Caesar, which I see as any form of government. But in this case, since I'm in America, I preach here. So Buddha blessings, namaste, God is good, I must say. What is of Caesar? What is the structure of Caesar? And what is thou shalt not bear false witness in the court systems of Caesar? Who is the accuser? Who's the judge? And who's the executioner? What is in our court system? What we have witnessed here is atrocities, the changes of aspects and faculties of the mind biologically, through outside chemistry, previous and prior tendencies, psychological states, frozen patterns of thought, the conditioning of the mind, the deprivation of nutrition, abuse, and all other forms of psychological states of the mind. Deep down, studying the subconscious mind, conscious mind, how thoughts arise, and what is bearing false witness? How is this accomplished? Well, obviously, my father covered it way prior back then. But since we're in a land or a nation of freedom, I'm going to use it to free all my friends. Okay. Through God, Christ, Krishna consciousness. What is consciousness? Where did it arise? Where does it cease? And eternal consciousness as you arise and fall away from that consciousness through your life, since we're talking about the consciousness of all God, where are we in thou shalt not bear false witness? Who's the judge? Who's the prosecution? And like I said, who's the executioner? Thou shalt not bear false witness. If clinically tested at the moment prior, after, during interrogation, this involves sleep deprivation. This involves sitting in a cell in fear. This involves being amongst others, supposedly of your peers. Outside that box, that aspect, there's what's going on in the air today. Right? I'll give you examples. Say there's a war and we see thousands of missiles of light show over and 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 over. What does that do to the mind of the watcher? No, the one that's viewing this. Do you think this is a pretty picture painted before their eyes? You know, I call myself the Minister of Defense. Okay? The Attorney General is a joke to me. Okay? By the end of this series of talks, give Caesar what is of Caesar. In this case, it's the United States of America government. I don't view either side as being right, but for sure wrong. They wanted to talk about the supremacy of the law of this land. I'm going through a series of talks of it. Not only that, I'm going to talk about the Pharaoh in the sky, God. Right? Supposedly, you're one nation under God. Well, it is like this. You're in God's consciousness as we speak in the eternal being. I was going to use an aspect of your own agency. Just all their clinical tests, all their psychological profiles, or not profiles, but studies of the mind, tactics. It's already published. Just pull that up. That's going to be a model of defense. First up, right here, you speak to these guys. Not only that, they do know constitutional law. Your CIA, that's the agency. Case studies that I would bring in just for a universal defense team for all cases in one fucking swooping debate. Let's get it over. Those are the tests that I'm going to use. So we have wars going on. We have wars going on, disputes. We have lack of land rights. We can't grow. We can't grow our own medicine, supposedly. Supposedly these plants are regulated, supposedly. And then I'm going to talk about the chemistry of the mind. Current, before, and you would have to open up, see, their childhood. You would have to talk about subliminal messages, how you can create a drive to do something. Like you have to have it, no matter what. So you put them in a psychological state of a race. If there's no good nutrition, they would have to talk about the keto diet, how it affects the brain, that chemistry, and their sugar diets. Okay? Just that test right there, they say they're running on what? It's like running on diesel. All right? This is just one diet of chemistry. Well, right? But this diet I could use as defense. Already proven, own words. Okay. I bring in the brain chemistry of what we should truly be running on mind. I'm going to talk about frozen patterns, past history. And now if you know that something was taken it must be given back. For it was what? Given from the heavens, celestial grounds which you walk on. Enough storage houses here. What happened to all the trillions and trillions of dollars in tax money? Every individual in this nation should have homes, not be working in slavery. By this time, every single one of them should have a retirement plan just based on the economy that you all created, supposedly. And this is on behalf for those that are in prison currently, going through psychological meltdowns of distress, created by the media, created by the circumstances of robbery, highway robbery, of true life, of true freedom, and of true God. You're a nation in God. You're in His consciousness as we speak, in the eternal being, ever being. You wait for an afterlife to become eternity? No, eternity already became. You're in it right now, fool. Thou shalt not